Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name's Barbara, and I'm the owner of HSPEntrepreneur.coach.com. And I am doing an interview series with highly sensitive entrepreneurs. And today I have the honor and privilege to welcome Liz Almond into the interview series. Liz, her company is called Insightful Minds, and she is the mindset shifter. She's based in Maidstone in England, and welcome, Liz. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Okay, yeah. So my business, as you said, is Insightful Minds, and I help empower spiritual entrepreneurs to success. But that's generally they are possibly going through menopause and midlife, and experiencing some issues as they come into business. They may have depression, anxiety, fears, phobias, all different things that might be stopping them from being able to move forward with their visibility or getting the right knowledge about business, how to actually be creative in their business. But a lot of it is I also lost a lot of money in business and didn't make money from what I was doing. So I've got a book called A Spiritual Guide to Managing, it's called Are You Worth It? A Spiritual Guide to Managing Your Money Mindset.
Awesome.
And that has lots of different my mistakes in it, I suppose, is how to put it, but for people to understand how their mind is working, why different things were going wrong for me, for people to learn from my mistakes. So I help a lot of business owners to actually understand why maybe they're not making money, why they're struggling to make money. And they may be, have 500,000 turnover and need to go to the next level as well. They're not necessarily, not making any money at all. So there's often blocks that are in the way, and I'm sorting it out with them. So it could be emotional pain, physical pain. It could be weight issue. It might be the fact they've had too many bereavements and they're stuck in depression, can't get themselves out. I think a lot of the time entrepreneurs don't realise that they've got their personal life and their business life is one and the same. It comes from their head. They just don't have that understanding that it's all coming, everything's coming because as you know, perceptions, projections, what we're projecting out of our minds. So I've had lots of health issues myself, lots of money issues and lots of happiness issues. So lots of different lessons. I didn't work for 2 years. I've been on in the UK we call it benefit before unemployment benefit. And it's about inspiring other people to actually be able to change their mindset, to be able to get over adversity, whether that's losing a job or ill health or whatever. They actually can change things, and being within business has actually allowed me to be amazingly creative. I'm still, the amount of sort of ideas that come up for me now, it's like trying to bottle them into different ways to package them up. So that's all linked to my sort of spiritual mission as well. And I'm very much in flow now.
Awesome. Is that also where the term mindset shifter comes from?
Yes, that's right. It's kind of that's a relatively new term for me. So on my books, actually my book's been out for 2 years, it says the healer's healer, and I think that's more of a spiritual thing, that I take healers up to the next level.
Yes.
But the shift that we go through is very much about, we're very much ego based, and I'm shifting people to be in service. So we can get stuck in our own sabotage, stuck in our own issues, and it's all about us. And actually, it's about know what's going to happen. You need to be, in service. Who are you here to serve? Within your business, it isn't about customer service, but it's about serving in a particular way, so that those other, because every business owner is a healer. They might not understand that terminology. They might not understand that's what they are, but they are. They're taking the stress away from somebody else by doing that job.
Especially the highly sensitive business owners.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. So I'm very much here for highly sensitives as well, empaths, light workers, therapists, etc. Who, today I've been to a business-to-business convention, and actually I find it quite tough because some people are easy to connect with and other people are really quite difficult. And I'm highly trained in a trainer of neurolinguistic programming, and it's like it can feel very cold going to certain places, but I need to put myself in there because actually that will get me business and to be seen and whatever. So I'll teach other people how to be okay about doing that, so they don't come away from it feeling absolutely shattered. Part of it.
What was your biggest reason for starting your own business?
My biggest reason, well, I was actually teaching learning manager in a big college, and I'd learned a lot of the skills that I have now, and I wasn't being allowed to use them. So I'd created a coaching service, had 17 coaches across the college, but there was a redundancy situation that came up, and my position was going. I could have stayed at the college, safe amount of money, etc.
Yeah.
But it was like they'd said I couldn't work with staff, even though staff were coming up going, Liz, I know you've trained in hypnosis. Will you help me with this? Will you help me with that? I wasn't being allowed to. So there was because I was promoting, do what makes you happy. It was like, I've got to follow my own advice.
Yes.
And I remember, when I went to write the voluntary redundancy email, tears going down my face because because it was very, very, very scary.
Yes.
But it was the right decision. Although for anybody who does read my book, they'll hear about the 18 months, 2 years, actually 5 years after that. Actually hasn't been that fantastic because of some of the the mindset things that were going on forming the various things that happened. I'd had miscarriages, failed IVFs, redundancy. My husband almost died. My mum died. The cat died the same week. My sister-in-law died, and then my husband left me with £40,000 worth of debt, and it was in a very short period of time. But I've recovered naturally. I haven't used any medication to get better. I've used totally mindset techniques and a lot of support from around me, people helping me, and I think that was part of my journey to inspire people how to do that, because I'm a specialist around mental health, and there's been various members of my family have been affected by mental health, and it's some of the techniques that are being used to help people aren't the right techniques, especially for highly sensitives as well. Yeah.
What is your biggest reason then that you wanted to follow your heart, or that you wanted to help others?
I'll help others without any doubt, but I would say that I suppose I was following my heart in a way, and the fact that I wanted to do what to use the skills I had, but helping others and my heart are kind of like one and the same to me. I think really, it's kind of that's all part and parcel of what I'm about. But it's more empowering others than helping others, because I'm very much about passing techniques on and educating about information, because I was a teacher. So that people have it for themselves, they use it for themselves, and then they can pass that skill set on to somebody else afterwards, and it's a much bigger ripple effect. Whereas if we help, some people will take the information or they won't, whereas actually if they educate, they go, I understand now.
I believe in empowering people as well. It's much more powerful than just teaching them a trick. Often just a conversation with me, people come away with the mindset shift. They go, oh my god, of course you're right. And I'm not trying to be right in a conversation at all. It's just I'll give them a different perspective, and they'll go to educate them.
Yes, you're right. I hadn't thought about it that way.
What are the top 3 benefits of being an entrepreneur to you?
Freedom is definitely there. That if I want to get up at 3 PM, I can, provided I've sourced out money coming in from different places, obviously. Really being able to follow my life purpose. I'm not sure that I could do what I'm doing now in a job, to be perfectly honest. I was fulfilled to a certain extent in the job that I was in, but I was in that job for a reason, to get the skills I've got now. I couldn't have written my book without being a secretarial lecturer, for example, which is part of what I did there, and an IT trainer. But it was that's probably the freedoms are important. Be able to follow my passion is very important, and it was moving into business allowed me to do that, to be able to use my skills. And actually today I've just had somebody, a teacher, phone up and say, can you come and do a session with 200 17-year-olds? And I used to teach 16 to 17, and whilst that isn't my job to do, that isn't what I'm, if you went on my website, that isn't what you'd say I was doing. To inspire 200 kids to know there's something else about, to understand their mental health, and that there's other things out that they can sort out. To me, that's very powerful, to be able to have that that time, I suppose, your own time that you're managing, to say, okay, I can do that. Why not? To help them.
How has your life changed now that you are an entrepreneur?
How's my life changed? Wow. I would say it's changed from the point of view of doing what I want when I want. It's very much inspired me to actually to be fulfilled using my creative skills.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, it's like somebody's unplugged a dam of stuff that was a well inside me and gone at the moment. That's how I describe it. It's like, I'm writing my third book at the moment, and the fourth book ideas keep coming up for that. That's called Courtship. It's about relationships. And it's like I'm having to have a little book, and there's an idea comes up, write it, and then go, I'm not allowed to touch it. I'm not allowed to start that project. So I've got too many different projects. But so I think that's a key thing, is that the knowledge that we all have is all packaged there, and it's allowing to be able to get that out to the world in my own way. There's no way if I was in a job that would actually happen. That would just be like, it wouldn't have come. And it's the knowledge that I have is family wisdom, I suppose, the family wisdom that's come through it, not just the qualifications I've done.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I've created an educational program around finances as part of it, and education and medicine, about stress. Mm-hmm. And when I look at the people in my family, they're all teachers, finances, and medics.
Okay.
So that the family wisdom is, for whatever reason, that creativity, that stuff has come through me. My twin sister is a GP. So I'm Mrs. Holistic and she's the medical.
Yes.
On it. My brother's a financer. My sister's a teacher. It's quite interesting.
Yes.
But actually, my one sister hasn't got a business, but three of us have got businesses now.
Yeah.
But
so
we didn't come from parents who were teachers. We didn't come from parents we had no business owners in the family at all. No. So I think that did create some of the issues that I had of going through business, where I thought I knew business from a theory perspective, but the practicality.
Yes, you didn't really have a role model in running a successful business with your parents.
No. And actually, I had been associate head of School of Business Studies at a college, so I had the academic knowledge around it. But when you are an intangible business, so putting together your wisdom, packaging that in a particular way, that's very different to being a tradesman, for example, who fixes floors. People know what they do. You offer X, Y, and Z service. You do a good job, get testimonials, and people recommend you because they know what you're doing. When you're doing something less tangible, where one result, if I worked on you, Barbara, and then I worked on somebody else, you both can have different results. You're both unique. Yes. There's never going to be, and something I fix in you might not even trigger in you to know that I fixed it.
True. Yeah.
For 6 months' time. So it's really quite a different experience when you're working as an intangible business.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Well. Yeah.
And which step in your entrepreneurial journey gave you an aha moment?
What step? I think that the last year had quite a big shift in the fact of putting together what mindset is all about. Mm-hmm. And understanding so I say mindset is about mental health, intuition, nourishing your mind, decisions you've made, which are limited decisions, limited beliefs, your senses, your emotions, and your thoughts, and how that all balanced together, and how it was like an aha moment of how I was bringing it all together for people to understand what I was doing.
Yes.
And I'd had some coaching around. I've got so much knowledge. I didn't realise you needed a system to bring all your knowledge out as well.
Yes.
So I'm literally doing everything backwards to teach people forwards. That's the only way I could describe it.
Yes.
So I've got about 30 systems. So don't quiz me about what any of my systems. I can do mindset, but there's so many mini systems of my different knowledge that it'll become much clearer when the third book comes out. The first book didn't have a system in it. I didn't know I needed a system when I found that book.
You just wrote it.
Yeah, just wrote it. Yeah.
What would you have never accomplished if you hadn't become an entrepreneur?
Oh, definitely the books. Definitely. That was never on my agenda at all. I clearly remember age 17 saying, I'll never, ever have a business. I was on a BTEC national course for hotel and catering. They must have scared the bejeebers out of us in some lesson about, having your own business. Mm-hmm. And I remember clearly saying, we'll never have it. I had so many fears about doing it. But I think I'd never have written the books. I'd never have won awards. I'm multi-award winning. Running my own networks, public speaking in front of audiences. I mean, it's like I was a little mouse at school that didn't say boo to a goose.
So starting your own business really helped you to open up.
It's really absolutely opened up to who I am as a person and to stand into that power of who I am, and not saying I'm any better than anybody else. I'm not saying that at all, but just me feeling powerful in who I am, and know I can help people with the knowledge that I have. And I'm literally saving lives, with getting people out of depression and whatever, and that's such an honor to be able to do that. And
so you can say that becoming an entrepreneur helps you to become the best version of yourself.
Absolutely, because also by going into business, you will not survive in your business unless you work on your head. You're not, you have to be working yourself, you have to be looking after yourself, you have to be loving yourself, because otherwise you won't have the energy to follow through on the mission and getting everything done in your business.
Yes.
Whereas when you're employed, you can tick on, all right, you get your paycheck in, it arrives. Nobody makes you work on yourself at all. You can be, overweight.
No, when you have an off day, you'll just be there and not work really hard, and then you'll still get paid. But that doesn't work.
It doesn't. No. So I think the whole the energy shift of being an entrepreneur and being able to really understand how to connect with other people, and it challenges you about your own insecurities, and when you get through that, you go, oh my God, this is like amazing. The relationships, the friendships that you build as part of it as well. I think, when we only met, by email, didn't we, sort of thing, but, I feel connected with you. And it's kind of, there are, lifelong friendships being built that are incredibly strong support, because entrepreneurs also understand each other.
Yes.
And understand where they're going, and they know that you need to be there, and sometimes somebody needs to be subtly supported, and you need to swoop in and make sure they're okay.
Exactly.
Whereas within the workplace, I don't think that happens at all.
Fairly the same dreams, fairly the same hopes, fairly the same issues.
Yes.
And you all understand that from each other, that sometimes you have this wish or that goal, or you need this support, because it's in the basics, it's the same for every entrepreneur, especially for every high sensitive entrepreneur.
Absolutely. There's always the next step to take, and it's about learning from other people about at what point you do that, and if you're trying to go too fast, and you take the advice that you need to slow down. I certainly was paying into an entrepreneur's business club, and it was very clear that I was way behind because of I used to sabotage myself so badly. I should never have been in there. It's like everybody else was way ahead of me and getting. But also part of it was they were all in happy relationships. If you looked at who was in a happy relationship about the people around the table, they were all much more stable that way. Whereas my relationship with my husband, I think by that point he'd left me or whatever. So it wasn't stable to be within it, as well as the sabotage that was going on. Because every entrepreneur sabotages themselves in some way.
What was your biggest obstacle before you started your own company?
Biggest obstacle before I started it, I think I started off as an education consultant because that was a logical step. That's what I thought I was meant to be. So that big obstacle was actually how did I get work in schools and colleges, because actually what I thought I'd got as a network, I didn't have as a network, and it wasn't really working. And that actually I became depressed because I couldn't get it working, because I thought I'd be absolutely fine. I did find some work, but within 3 months of me leaving my job, I actually had no money left because of my money management skills, and because my husband wasn't making money in his business, because we'd had a miscarriage, two failed IVFs, and the redundancy. So we weren't actually in a very good place at all. So I would say to somebody, make sure that you're really in a good place when you're actually making that jump into entrepreneurship. Really, to make sure that I'm not saying 100% fixed, or anything, because we've always got work to do, but to be in a good place about themselves. Go and have some coaching, have some therapy before you start. So you actually are starting from the right energy and the right foundations. Moving forward, but not investing lots of money in different things as well. I think a lot of people invest far too much money in what they're doing. They put, when I talk to some accountants, they they put £75,000 into, and very little foundation of. People don't seem to have a budget for personal development when they're going into entrepreneurship, and they definitely need that. It isn't just a marketing budget.
Yes.
you need a personal development budget of at least 10% of what you earn needs to be on that.
Because otherwise there won't be any money for you or your bills, and you will
No,
everything on
exactly.
courses and applications that you no longer have a company to use them with.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had a maths phobia. So all that means is that, in the past I had a bad maths experience when I was 8. And that energy of what was still there, whenever I looked at anything to do with maths and my business or finance, that anxiety came up again. And I wouldn't look at it. So I didn't have numbers in my business plan. I wouldn't look at Google Analytics. I wouldn't look at my accounts when I came back from the accountant. So I didn't understand what I needed. And because I'm very detailed, I would look at the detail of something, but I wouldn't do the finance bits of it. I liked all the words bit, but not the numbers bit. So I've had to educate myself to look at numbers again, to understand numbers, to project bigger numbers. So because my personality isn't, I'm on a big mission, but I'm not a global thinker. I'm not a big thinker. So I go down and have to take myself up into that. And that's the same for numbers. I'll think small on numbers and have to make myself go bigger. Go, no, I don't need just £100. I want £10,000. Say that again.
It's really something you needed to conquer, that fear.
Yes.
Of the numbers.
Yeah. And that's very common. When I talk to accountants, often entrepreneurs they won't be recording any of their expenses or their invoices, and things like the invoices, they'll have done work and they'll go, oh, I've left it too late to invoice now, and they don't invoice and they lose that money. What's that about?
Yes. It's more business planning.
Don't waste the money. But there's all sorts of things about numbers that is actually business is all about numbers.
Exactly.
More people you can serve, more people you can help, more income you can make.
You need money to help people.
You need money to help people. Exactly. Yeah, and you need to feel okay yourself before you can actually help others. So if you're unstable in any way, then it'll be an issue within your business.
Did you know straight away what type of company you wanted to build?
Well, as I said before, I thought I was going to be an educational consultant. That's what I logically thought I was meant to be. And I was probably that for about a year. But I was still doing some therapy on the side with people and coaching on the side. So I was working in a college doing a few hours teach training, whatever, to have some money coming in at that time. But it just became over time that I couldn't bear doing the teacher training anymore. It was just like, when I realised, I was like, I'd actually told students I didn't enjoy marking their papers. I thought, I shouldn't say that. That's terrible. What a terrible thing to say. I used to be really excited about marking it, and they were like just dragging me away from being able to do what I wanted to do. So I knew it was the right thing to move away from it. But I think financially it did unstabilise me, the fact that I gave that up.
So in the beginning, you didn't start your company from passion, but you started your company from logic.
Yes. Yeah. I told you I'm doing everything backwards. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a learning process. You need to start. A lot of people don't even start or don't even try. So backwards is apparently your path, and it's perfect.
Exactly. I mean, I'm 7 years in now, so I've got past the 5 years of most businesses don't make 5 years. So that's that I'm still in the game. And actually, all my work has to come privately. I'm not funded by anybody. So you have to convince people to work with me.
Keeping up your own pants.
Sorry, say that?
You're keeping up your own pants.
That's right. I mean, I am due to meet with the head of mental health for Kent Services in a couple of weeks' time, the chief executive, because she's read my book and we did put a complaint in about my sister's care as well, so she might have answered me a bit quicker on me putting in a thing. I just said, could we partner? Because at the end of the day, this is tough, much tougher than it needs to be for me.
Yes.
And actually, your services aren't working. So if I'm the inspirational model of how to, I've no longer got my heart complaint, no longer got my chronic pain syndrome and depression and anxiety and whatever, and I've run a successful business through, and I've been winning awards and whatever, then surely there's something I'm doing that I can help you with, and you can feed people to me, so I don't have to go and look for them.
Yes. Which is also usually beneficial. Yes. Yes.
So that's a conversation we're going to have. She may say no, but I don't think she will. I think it will.
No, you have, and yes, you can try. get.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I think it will end up that I'm going to be training some of the staff about different things, different techniques. I think that'll definitely be part of it.
Yeah.
But I think there'll also be I want to particularly work with highly sensitives as well. So I have quite a lot of
there are a lot of them in healthcare. So
quite a lot of clients who are bipolar and it's called borderline personality disorder in the UK, but they've renamed it to be emotionally unstable disorder. I mean, what a horrible title to give somebody.
Yes,
I've just
still call it borderline. Everybody knows what borderline is.
Yeah, that's what psychiatrists are calling it, and it's like, why label anybody? I work with people. I take away dyslexia and dyspraxia, and
But that's what they enjoy here in the West, to put everybody in a box and label them, because then we know what to do with them, which pill to give them, how to treat them, and if you don't fit in a box, then we don't know what to do with you.
Yeah, that's right. And there's a lot of frustrated, highly sensitives out there in that bracket. And in the UK, they do group therapy, and we're so sensitive. Trying to do group therapy with highly sensitive is not going to work really. So it's kind of saying, well, actually, could I not work with these clients who are costing you thousands of pounds and actually get a better result, so that we work together. Because I know what I'm doing, and I'm sure to do it, even if they have to refer outside the NHS to work with me, and the person has to find the money themselves. The NHS aren't even telling patients that they can pay for services.
No, same here. Same here.
Yeah.
What aspects of your entrepreneurship do you enjoy the most?
I love public speaking. I love networking and meeting people, helping people through my networking, and training.
These are things that most highly sensitive entrepreneurs don't like.
No, but I fix those things in people to be able to do it. So I work with highly sensitive entrepreneurs to know how to network, how to be okay about doing that, being okay about getting past the fears to be able to do public speaking. So
coming out of your comfort zone are the things that you love the most.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And that's what I suppose I'm leading people on, to show them it's possible. To know it is okay, and it's a way of getting, as you get your messaging right, and as you understand your life purpose, understand what knowledge you're meant to be sharing, who you're meant to be working with, it gets easier and easier over the process. So if you're introduced to the right people, the right information, to know how to package your things up. So my third book, Awakening the Vision Within, will teach highly sensitives how to do that. That will then be even more powerful to actually show them how to create it, and then I'll start the group coaching again once the book's out.
Yes.
To move forward, because it's very different running an intangible business to a tangible one.
Yes, it is. I noticed that a lot of people have misconceptions about networking or speaking at a public event, and they let themselves be held down because of fears.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes people don't recognize it's being a fear. They don't recognize the resistance in them as well. So it's sometimes I'm having to be quite, I make the most clients by just having a conversation with somebody when I notice something and say, did you realize that's a blur? You could actually get over that if you wanted to change that. And I go, is that an issue? And I go, yeah, because that means you can't do X, Y, and Z. And they go, oh, yes. And I want to start changing it. Didn't know the connection that I could actually sort of change it. So there's a lot. I mean, we can change anything we want to, because fear is about transmuting fear into love.
Yes.
But everybody's on a journey as to what they're going to shift or not shift. But when we're in flow, as you know, it's a much easier journey.
Yes,
and I'm working with individuals to remove that resistance, so they are in flow, and then it's a bit more like a domino effect. The right things happen for you at the right times, and synchronicities happen. And it's much.
A lot of the HSPs that I speak to, they suffer from the "I am not good enough" syndrome. Did you have that when you started, or?
Well, I think the fact that I've said, "Are you worth it?" as my book title, yes. So in my book, I talk about the 11 negative core beliefs of "I'm not good enough." So I'm not good enough, I've got no value and worth, I'm not good enough, I'm defective, I'm not good enough, I'm unlovable. I think I had probably all of them. They've all kicked off at one point or another. And it's been a process of fixing them to be able to stand to my power and know who I am. So without a doubt. And the thing is, another thing which people don't realise when they come into business, you're going to be triggered around what you feel capable about or not, and what you think logically you're going to do in business. It's very different when you physically do it. To suddenly go, like we're doing Zoom now. I only learned the other day how to actually send a Zoom, what's it called, the appointment to another person. I kept accepting everybody else's appointments, but I never actually physically made one myself. And I used to be an IT trainer, so I'm not actually that phased by it. But I put it off a while. But I'm resisting this a bit. Just go and do it, learn how to do it, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So your capabilities can be pushed on different things.
It's safe to say that before you started as an entrepreneur, you did have doubts.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely. And still doubts come up. I work on myself every day. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important for anybody who's looking to go into being an entrepreneur to understand, we're work in progress, and this is about being your best version, and about looking after yourself, loving yourself with both of your business go tits up.
Yes.
And that there's always going to be something. I was watching a program the other day that is with a leading entrepreneur in the UK. We have something called The Apprentice. I don't know whether you have that in Holland, but she's called Karen Brady. Anyway, she's one of she's multi-millionaires, etc. She's massive businesses. Anyway, she's going to on TV showing there's brand new businesses. She's going to see them at the start, gives them some advice. A year later, then she goes back in to see where they're at. And there was one tennis coach in that who had he was really struggling. He'd created a program for 5 to 10 year olds, couldn't sell it, and then he's finally sold it for a large amount of money to the Spanish government or something like that. It was going to be a 6-figure thing. And in me, I was like, why is that not me? And it was like, that's not good. That's jealousy. So I went and worked on jealousy myself. So still stuff comes up, and you have to keep noticing. And I've spent £40,000 on my training, and I've done loads of things. So it is very much, you have to notice how you're interacting about different things all the time.
I always say we are like an onion, and every time you peel off another layer, and then you solve what's in that layer, but it doesn't mean that in a different or a deeper layer, something cannot come back again. It forces you to deal with it in that layer and to let it go and to heal it in that layer as well. So you always work on yourself and keep yourself in balance and take enough me time for yourself, protect yourself, be kind to yourself, because you are your company. And if you are not doing okay, then it reflects immediately in how your company is doing.
It does. But there's so many people out in business who don't recognize that. They don't look at it. They don't look at it in that way, which is quite interesting. And I think as time goes on, more people will understand that. I mean, I was at this business to business show today and thinking, I wonder how it'd be me having a stand here and I'm doing tarot or angel card readings at the stand, actually telling them how their business is going. Quite fun, really, to actually interact with them, to say what they need to improve on. Just to give them a completely different point of view about business.
Some people really need that.
Just a different perspective of where they're at. That it's not just about just about what they're saying in their heads about what they're creating. Because you can tell from the stands as to which ones are doing well and which ones aren't doing well. Yes. As well about how they've been created. Yes. Exactly. And whether they're the right colours and that. And actually there was only one person today who had the good rapport skills to ask me first what I did and to ask about me. Okay. And everybody else asked about their, said about their thing first, and then said, "Oh, and what do you do?"
Yeah, but that's what I noticed is the big difference between a highly sensitive person and a non-sensitive person. We are in the we mode. How do we have fun here? And also in helping the other first and then myself. But the other 80%, it's about me. What's in it for me? What is my benefits? Yeah.
And that's very much scarcity thinking around money. And there was only one chap who's a web design guy, and I said, "Thank you for doing that." And he said, "What are you thanking me for?" I said, because you're the only person when I walk around here who's actually asked me about me first, without going into a spiel about your thing. Because ultimately, I don't actually have any funds at the moment to buy anything that was in the. I was there to network and to help people to connect with them. On it, I wasn't there to buy any service today or whatever. I'd happily refer people and bond with people, etc. But it's awesome. It's quite interesting, noticing that they were just like not interested in me. They're interested in me to see if I'd buy. Yeah,
which is also very valuable.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you maybe have a message to other HSPs out there that are listening to this interview and that are having doubts in becoming an entrepreneur themselves?
I think my message would be just do it. Just do it. It's only you stopping you. And there is support along the way. Yourself, me, but lots of other people will step in and help you along the way. But part of the lessons is often about asking for help. That's what one of mine was, and receiving help. And that's all part of it. Sometimes you have to go, yeah, thank you very much. Somebody will offer you something, thank you very much. And that's a lesson. So I think the message is, just go and do it. You won't know until you try. But if you are having difficulty, that's because you didn't plan it well enough before you started. So I would say the message is, make sure you've done the work on yourself. You're in a good place, your headspace yourself, you're feeling good, and you've planned what you want. You've had some coach, you've planned what you're going to be doing. You understand your life purpose, at where you're going. And especially if you're going to be an intangible business like a healthcare professional, a consultant, a trainer, coach, that what your micro niche is. Yeah, before you quit any job or whatever. And I'd also say have a part-time job along the way as well. What you're doing until you've created enough that it's actually self-sufficing, and then you can leave that part-time job, because there'll be times when I've had 3 weeks and not a penny come in. But you can get stressed during that time. They can I've created all these opportunities. True. And especially if you run a training business as well, people don't book till late on things. That can make a massive difference. So the type of business you set up. So do your
amount of faith also. If you know that you're living your life purpose, if every fiber in your being feels this is my mission here on earth. You need to keep that faith, even if nobody books you yet, even if your clients are not finding you yet. It's a test for you to keep faith that you're on the right path, that you chose what actually really, really deeply down feels that it's the thing you need to do, and keep faith in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also it's about build a network while you're at work to support you when you leave. So that you've actually got the right connections, because you shouldn't be leveraging your network until 6 months after you've built it. So because when you're networking, it's about helping others. It's not about you. It's about being a giver. So it takes time to build that up, and then eventually people will give back, because you've been revenue building for them. They'll revenue build back to you. Because I jumped, and had no network and nobody to support me, etc. And it makes a big difference having that support.
Yes, I didn't have that either. And in some ways, I think it's a benefit, because it made us make choices.
Yes,
choices that people who have a supporting factor or a partner that brings in all the money probably won't have made the same choice, because they have a full sense of security in their partner. And we don't. So sometimes that forces us to really make choices that we might not want to make, but we need to.
Yeah.
And that brings us forward in our company.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I can honestly say that I have no doubts at all in becoming an entrepreneur. And if I look back, I would tell myself to start even earlier.
Yeah, I think I would do as well, actually. I think, it's been incredibly hard, but I think that was part of my journey. That's not a HSP journey necessarily.
A lot of HSPs have a difficult journey.
If you look at my numerology, I was due to have 5 years of bad luck around money. It was all part of the journey to happen, and things which just didn't make logical sense happened. To not make money. Yeah. So I think it's very much about understanding that everybody's different about what's right for them. And I don't have any doubts about saying to anyone who go into business. I think, yeah, it's fantastic being in business, but just, you have to balance spirituality and practicality. So the planning is really important for the law of attraction to work as well. You need a written down plan, what you're doing, not what you have to give to the bank, but a plan of what you're doing now and over a period of years, what you want to create over a period of time. So you can see it develop and actually use the different mindset techniques to actually get in flow around that, and that makes a big difference.
I could not agree more.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything else that you would like to add? Something that we haven't discussed yet?
I don't think so. I think I would encourage anybody to really to get into business. I think it's great, and even if you stay employed and you have a business alongside, because the way that finance is changing, the economy is changing. What happens is when people have a pension pot, they think it's this one pot of money that's going down and down and down, and that can be really bad for your mind as well. If you have a business on the side that actually is feeding your pension pot over the years, that's a much better model for you, that you actually always have money coming in. So you might be
responsible for the amount of money that's coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
If you work harder, you get more money, and if you take it easy, you get less money. So that's also, I find, very empowering.
Yeah. So if you have so you might stay employed, but you have a business alongside that is doing, you might do network marketing or whatever. It's something that allows you that flexibility to be on the entrepreneur world, but not fully into it. Yeah. That's also okay. And I'm saying to people who are retired, go and set your business up, go and write a book and send it through a business, because you can then put taxable expenses through the business as well. And then you're actually putting money into your pension pot.
But you also do something that you love. You have a purpose.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people who are retired, they suddenly find themselves purposeless.
Absolutely. And it's very much about, in my book I've got a love game, and it's about being a learner of your life rather than, when you go into depression, you're a blamer. You're not happy about it. And the learner actually has a vision. They can see where they're going. They're looking at where they're going. They use the vision board to go forward. Yes. When they've got no vision, they don't like what they see in their life, it actually really affects about where they're going. They won't feel as good. Yes. So it's very much about visioning. When people turn or approaching 50, their mind tends to go, I've not got as many years left on the other side. Yes. That's actually not true. Okay, that's why people are living longer. Okay, better healthcare. We understand how our minds are working.
We used to die at 60, but that's a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. But our minds still work that way. So just be aware of it. Like, if you're creating your life, and by looking after yourself and looking after your mind, etc., you can go a lot longer. So keep visualizing what you want to achieve, and also be visualizing what money you need to create that life that you're wanting to do.
Don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to ask for what it is that you want, because I find that usually we are so focused on all the things we don't want in our lives. That those are the things that we are attracting. So instead of focusing on what you do not want, focus all your energy, all your love, all your attention on the things that you do want in life. Yes. Because for one, it gives you much more pleasure. But when you focus on what you do want, the chance that it comes into your life is much, much greater than when you keep your focus on what you don't want.
Absolutely. And actually, that's part of the law of attraction working anyway, and the fact that you'll be high vibe of what you want to create, but you're getting in zone. You have to feel as if you've actually achieved that thing. So for example, if I haven't got anybody on my courses, well, have I got any of the preparation ready for it yet? Possibly not. If I've not taken the actions towards getting it, I'm not going to receive it. Yes. So sometimes you can be hard to say, oh, it's not working. But have you done all the steps that would take you to get that thing? Often not. Yes. So it is about when you're planning a goal, what are all the steps to get to that thing, and act as if. So when somebody say they want to move house, I say, well, start packing. Start packing and say, okay, you can't have
selling what you don't get with you.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah, start moving towards it.
Yes.
If I want to go on holiday, pay a deposit. Start packing to get my bag out to pack as if I'm going, because it's going to happen.
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Liz, for this interview. I really enjoyed it, and I know for sure that all the viewers that have been watching and are going to be watching really enjoyed this interview as well. Do you have a free giveaway to give the viewers of this interview?
That's right. On my website, insightfulminds.co.uk, so it's INSIGHTFUL minds minds.co.uk. There is a free download that is the 5 steps for a profitable and successful business, and that has 7 steps to success based on some of the things I'd learned. There's also a checklist, which are behaviours that you need to have in business to actually be successful as well, that you might not have even realised that are going to be a problem. So very much recommend that people go through that to see, because if you're not looking after yourself in business, there will be a problem. I work with people around chronic illness, and that's all come from the mindset. It's all come from what they're thinking about and what they're creating. So I would recommend that people look at that to go through. And if they've got any questions about it, they can email me
awesome.
to get some help.
For everybody that is interested in Liz and in her work, her website is www.insightfulminds.co.uk. And I will place the link to her website and to her free giveaway either in the comment section of this video or in the accompanying email. So if you want to know more about Liz, I will encourage you strongly to go and visit her site and to download her steps and to become a successful entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Liz, for your time.
Welcome.
And I hope to see you soon again.
Yeah. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.